All right, everybody, welcome. Facebook Live with Mel Rapozo, January 30th. Just a few more days before Super Bowl 53. Hey, Sandy, thank you for joining. Let me know if you can hear me okay? I got a brand new mic, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me clearly. If you guys hear me, can you just type in a 1 if you can hear me clear? Ooh, got a bunch of people. Sandy, Patsy, Chris, Sunny, Marianne. Oh, long time no see. Johnny and May Rita. Chemo, Jill, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys can hear me again. I just got a new mic. I got a new camera on the way. Okay, good. Perfect. Sounds good. Hey, Yvette, Kayla, the princess. All right, perfect. Yeah, I got me a new camera. It's going to be coming in. And so that we'll have that hopefully by next week's session. I didn't get in time. I did get the mic though. So we're trying to get the best quality video and sound out. As you know, we do have a Facebook channel, YouTube channel, which all these videos get posted to. Hey, Richard. So yeah, we will hopefully get the quality up to the best we can, and start posting up videos, more and more videos as we go along. But yeah, so before we get, hey, Karen, how's it going? Thanks for joining us again, January 30th, a couple more days before Super Bowl 53. Before we get started, I just want to ask everyone, say a quick prayer for Chief Perry. We all know Chief Darryl Perry, retired police chief here on Kauai. He was retired and moved to the Big Island with his wife, Salette. And, you know, everybody knows he's an avid bike rider, and he was riding his bike on the Big Island, and he got struck by a vehicle. So he is in Queens Hospital right now. He's in intensive care. He got some pretty major injuries. I did fly up yesterday to go visit him myself and Charlie Iona, former police commissioner. So we went to go see him. He's in good spirits. Injuries are pretty serious, though, and he had surgery, several hours of surgery yesterday. So just asking for all of you to say a quick prayer for a recovery for Chief Perry. Great man. Just an unfortunate accident there on the Big Island, doing what he really enjoyed doing, and hoping that everything turns out. So again, prayers to Chief Perry and his wife Salette out there at Queens Hospital. He's in intensive care. He is conscious, and he is, we did get to make him laugh a little bit, but the injuries are serious, and we just pray that he gets through this. So, all right. So anyway, hey, thank you guys. We got a bunch of you on already, and I'm sure more will join in. Again, Facebook Live with Mel Rapozo. Don't forget YouTube channel. Get over to the YouTube channel. Just look me up. It's just under Mel Rapozo. Please subscribe so when we do post new videos, you get notified and you can participate. We do this every single Wednesday at 5:30 to 6:30. Just to go over what's been going on during the week and to share my thoughts. Hey, aloha, Jay, Belinda, Zandra. Let me see who else is on here real quick. Chantel, hey, cousin. Kauai Sons, Hanamalu, Myra, Joey, Sherry, Khalil Perez, Ricky, and Joyce, Davis, and Karen, of course. Just real quick, many of you may have already seen it. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see a poll. I put up a poll this afternoon. And as of this morning, I just put this up an hour ago, and we already have 90 votes. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, the Rams or the Patriots? And right now, the Rams are ahead 68% to 32% of the votes. So 68% of the people believe the Rams will win, and 32% think the Patriots will win. I know the Patriots are the favorites. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. They got probably one of the best teams in the history of the NFL. But I believe the Rams are going to pull it off with their young quarterback and their awesome team. So we're going to see how that pans out. So anyway, right now this thing will change as this session goes on. But as of right this moment, 68% of the people believe that the Rams will win. I made my prediction 38-31 Rams. MVP will be C.J. Anderson. I think he's going to light it up. A lot of people think I'm crazy. I don't even think he's in the odds in Vegas as winning the MVP award, but I believe that he's going to light it up. 68% feel the Rams away. Let's see if that changes before this hour is up. So anyway, feel free to comment. Raylene Walani just joined on. She's a Patriot fan. AJ, Belinda, Michelle, Rena, Ed Phillips, another Patriots fan. Sherry Manoy, Mila, Mara, and Charles. I want the Rams, but how do you vote against the genius Belichick? You're right. It's a tough one. Khalil Perez says Cowboys will be the next year champs. One thing that Raylene Walani taught me, dreaming is free. So you can keep on dreaming, Khalil. You guys are underestimating the power of the dark side. I tell you what, the Rams, hey, Larry, thanks for joining us. The defense of the Patriots, whether you like the Patriots or not, they're soft. I mean, they got one heck of an offense. They got you're so off. Anderson won't even be close. I love it. I love the haters. Ed, my good buddy, all the way from California. I know you love the Patriots, but sometimes the truth hurts. Look at Riley, and she's crying, laughing. But yeah, the Patriots defense will not be able to handle the offensive strength of the Rams. That's just the way it is. The Rams gonna have to stop. But you got to look at the defense of the Rams, hungry, powerful, and strong, and something that Mr. Brady has not seen all season. So it'll be a great game. So right on, Belinda, go with the Patriots. That's cool. Hey, it'll be fun. Whatever happens, we're not haters. We're realistic. Pale Napa. I don't care what Raylene says. Pale Napa, I know you're a Rams fan. I know you think the Rams are going to win this game, but I won't tell anybody. Aloha, Ed. Thanks for joining us. So that's the Super Bowl. World's largest sporting event, and wish I could be there to watch it live, but no, we will be watching it on TV like most of all of you. Okay, a lot of things going on this past week, and I'm just going to go down this list. Blue lights in the bathrooms. I just saw that. The county of Kauai is putting up blue lights in the bathroom to apparently to try to slow down the use of drug injections and shooting up of drugs by people. And I don't know if that thing works or not. I would assume that if it's a blue light that it's gonna kind of hide the veins. But I just was thinking, Patsy and I, when we read that and heard about it, and Patsy told me about it, and I finally eventually read about it. I think everybody, whether you're homeless or you have a home, I notice everyone has a cell phone, and every cell phone has a flashlight. So I don't know how much impact that will have, and I don't know really how many people are making their way into county restrooms to shoot up their heroin and opioids. But hopefully this works. Hopefully this will work and curb the use. The problem is not them shooting up in restrooms. The problem is them shooting up, period. So whether it's in a county restroom or in a county park or on the steps of a county building or a private structure, it doesn't matter. The problem really, hi Jayla, how are you? So glad you're there. Hey Leanne, thanks for joining us. Yeah, the root of the problem is not the lighting or the facilities. These guys are shooting up wherever they can. The problem is the access to these drugs. And the fact that, I think we should be spending our time more on stopping the inflow. We talked about it weeks ago about, we're talking about bringing in dogs and training dogs on sniffing out snakes. Why not get dogs at all of our ports, all of our post offices, all of our UPS, FedEx stores, wherever at the harbors, and have the dogs run through to find these drugs before they hit the streets. I think that is more of a impact, solving the problem, not the symptom. I think that's kind of what that's what we do. We go out and try to put the Band-Aid fixes and take credit for doing Band-Aid fixes and not really impacting the problem, which in this case is the availability and accessibility of these drugs. And then again, when we do catch these guys, letting them off with light sentences and giving them probation and early parole. And, I think we got to send the message out that distribution or dealing of these drugs will not be tolerated and will be treated quite seriously. And I think that's the problem, is that the risk or the reward in today's world, the reward for dealing drugs is worth the risk. And we need to turn that around, where the risk is not worth the reward. And I know it's difficult to do, but putting lights in bathrooms, although I think may help some, that's not going to solve the problem. The problem is the drugs. It's not the fact that they can go into a bathroom and shoot up. And these guys are shooting up on the sides of the roads in their vehicles. It's just not going to stop the problem. So, hey, Janet, I hope you folks are doing fine. We're meant to call you today and give you guys a call later. Hope you and Uncle John doing okay. John Mahi, the legend, is online. And Gary, aloha, you guys. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I think we got to start focusing on the problems, working on solving the problems and not the symptoms, because we're not going to reduce the accessibility or availability of these drugs. So let's focus our energies on that. Let's focus on our energies and stopping the inflow of these drugs. And when we catch these guys that are distributing these drugs, let's put them away for a long time. I think that's the solution that we got to focus on. Minimum wage, another big issue hitting the legislature. Tomorrow's a hearing. They're going to have a hearing on that at the state capitol. A lot of debate on minimum wage and increasing the minimum wage. And we're going to see. We're going to see how this thing pans out. There's great arguments on both sides. Some believe that the minimum wage, if you increase the minimum wage, you're going to hurt a lot of small businesses. And on the other side, you increase the minimum wage and you start stimulating the economy, giving more people money to spend in our local economy. I'll speak as a very small business owner, one that has had employees in the past that, paid my employees $10 an hour. And that's all I could afford. I mean, really, if I could afford more, I would have paid them more. If the state was to come down and mandate that I increase that because of my business and what I do, there was no way I could have increased my fees competitively and remain in business to pay the employees. So in my scenario, I would have to have shut down. And I think many of the small businesses today are in the same shoes that I have. Now, my solution is a little different, and it's kind of I haven't heard anybody talk about this yet, because the governor did talk about providing tax credits for businesses, I believe up to $50,000. But why not? Hey, Bernard Quibalon, gosh, long time no see. Malia, Irene, Joe, brother Joe, hope Vegas went well for you. Uilani, Shelly, Gary, thanks for joining us. What I would think would work if the state wants to see the increase in minimum wages is incentivize that action. If you want to change behavior, behaviors of people, then you create an incentive. So you create an incentive for those businesses that can't afford to pay their employees more. Then they can. If they can absorb that, then you incentivize them. Give them the tax credit. Give them a bigger tax credit. And those small businesses like mine that cannot afford, we can't do it, but we won't get the tax credit. I don't understand how you can, you mandate these kinds of things, and you don't know what the benefit's going to be. There's many studies that say increase of minimum wages will work, and there's likewise studies that say it won't, and that the impact to small business is going to be a serious one. So, Ed, government can help the poor by reducing taxes like the GET and the proposed gas tax. Absolutely. This state and quick to raise taxes and again, putting the burden back on the small business is not the answer, in my opinion. It's just not. And raising taxes ain't going to help either. So, I think you got to understand, as I was reading the post today on Facebook, a lot of angry people that believe that this minimum wage should be up to $15, $16, $17. And they're blaming the visitor industry. Well, the visitor industry pays their employees quite well above the minimum wage. That's the state and federal minimum wage. what's going to happen is if you change your entry level pay, which is what the minimum wage was, it was never intended to be a living, I mean, a career wage where you're going to raise your family. You know, it's where you, hang on, I got somebody calling. It's entry level where you go in and learn, and you know, typically for school students and so forth. But when you, yes, Linda, Iggy wants to raise the taxes again, fuel tax, weight tax, registration fees. So the bottom line is this: is when you increase the entry level rate, if you increase the minimum wage, every other wage in the scale or on the spectrum is going to need to be increased. That ripple effect on the small business is going to be very detrimental, in my opinion. I'm not an economist. I've never done the studies. I'm speaking as a very small business owner myself, who had to get rid of employees because of the rising cost to do business here in the state. So I like I said, if the state wants to create a business climate that they think is going to be better, then incentivize those companies and businesses that can afford to raise their minimum wage. Give them a tax break. Do what they need to do to satisfy the people in the big square building on Oahu. But don't put that mandate on the small businesses who's you're going to force them out of business. And the other thing is going to happen is companies are going to take their full-time employees and reduce them down to part-time and half-time employees. So they don't have to pay the benefits, and they won't to make up the difference. They can't afford it. They can't afford it. So I'm looking forward. Like I said, tomorrow at the Capitol is a hearing. We will be tracking that bill because I'm curious to see who's going to support it and who's not. More specifically, our delegation here on Kauai, how they vote. And, you know, I'll be sure to keep you guys abreast of all the activities on the bills that affect our people here in Kauai on our Facebook Live. Back to local news. Who's the dimwit idea to put roundabout at Mailehuna? Oh, I'm getting to that. I saw the letter. I have it right here, and I'm going to go over that. So yes, Larry, I'm dying to hear you chime in on that. I don't know who created that. Hey, Richard, at Timbers Bar, have one for me, my friend. Have one for me. All right. Timbers Bar. Timbers. I work at Timbers Resort, not at the bar. I work as a night auditor. Been there for since they opened, and I love that place. It's beautiful. They got a great restaurant and a great bar, great happy hour. They really want the Kama'aina Day. In fact, on Sundays, I brought this up. Chicken and waffles dinner at the beautiful Timbers restaurant, Hualani's, $7. $7 for a beautiful dinner in a beautiful resort on Sundays, $7. All right. Hey, Wendy, Les, Mildred, Julie, thank you for joining us. If minimum wage goes up from $10 to $15 an hour, that's 50% increase. People don't realize everything will go up accordingly. $1,000 rental will now be $1,500. Yeah, I mean, that's just basic economics. And I think I'm not sure how they feel or how they figure, those guys up at the state, how they figure small business is going to survive. You got to admit, I don't care about Hawaiian Airlines posting a $133 million profit. This country is built on the backs of small businesses, not those big corporate giants. And when you start flipping that balance and taking away and killing the small businesses, you will see the local economy suffer. That's just the way it works. 93,000 per year is low income at government statistics. Watch the UPW and HGA negotiations. Yes. Hey, Donna. Yes, Ed, you are correct. You are correct. Let's see, Naomi. Yes, I can see a lot of people being part. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, as a person that had a business, had a full-time employee, and there's no way I could have absorbed it. So you know, you end up closing up or adjusting your expenditures. Something I wish the government would do, but they don't. They keep spending and raising taxes. But if the small businesses can't handle the expense, then they're going to make adjustments. And the first thing to go will be the personnel and the benefits and the cost items. So yeah, something to watch on. Hey, Tom, Wayne, Brian, Wendy, Lou, Martin, thank you guys for joining us. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Hey, Pops, all the way from Seattle, Washington. Linwood, thanks, Dad, for joining us again. So that's where it stands. We're going to see how that thing pans out. I encourage you folks to contact your state delegation. You got Senator Kochi, Nakamura, Morikawa, and Tokioka. Their phone numbers and their emails are all on the websites. Let them know how you feel. You gotta let them know. They don't know, and they're listening to the lobbyists. They're listening to all the lobbyists. So you gotta let them know how you feel. All right, it's a great political move. I think, raising minimum wage sounds like a good thing, but that comes with a cost, and the cost will be the small businesses and not the big corporate giants who can afford the big corporate lobbyists. So just got to remember that. We got to start thinking about the common people. The regular people. You see, you can see I'm a common person. You can see my house. That's like you can see. Yep, not a very. So, my wife. No, don't show. I'm not ashamed. 720 square feet right here. Lived here for a long time. Raised our 2 kids. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. I ain't ashamed of that. I love this place. I love this house. If I look up out my window out the kitchen, I look at the sleeping giant. Beautiful. So I ain't ashamed of this place. Love it dearly. All right. New election for the Honolulu City Council. How's this thing? Another thing. $250,000 is going to cost the Honolulu taxpayers. Well, I don't know, because that's state elections office. So it might be a state cost. I know that's a good question. So they're grumbling, or they're arguing about ballots that went to the post office that may not have gone to the elections office. Now, this just boggles my mind. Anytime you deal with mail-in, whatever, applications for school, for whatever it is. Hey, Breeze. Aloha, Breeze. Thanks for joining us. You notice that a lot of the times it says, make sure this whatever application or whatever is postmarked by 6 p.m. on this day. Now, why don't we just do that? Everything that's postmarked before a specific time that the state elections office set, that's the cutoff. So whatever comes into the post office and they check, they stamping it in that post stamp machine, after 6 o'clock, it's not good. It's done. Then there's no more question as to, what if they came in after 6, 7, 9? No, you set the time, and it's an established time that the elections office has set, and we follow that, and then you get your ballot there ahead of time. Just get your ballot there ahead of time. Man, gosh, they open up the polls so long before the election date. Just get it in. No shame. Kaleo. I mean, just set a time, postmark deadline, and that's it. And I don't get it. I just don't understand why we overcomplicate things that should be relatively simple. Your taxes, right? Your taxes. Or you set somebody out there like they do, and be there to accept if you want to extend the time, then just set the time later, and you have personnel out there to make sure every ballot is picked up. But don't leave an election that's so important to chance, and to the chance that in fact some ballots may not make it to the elections office on time. Set a deadline. Postmark is probably one of the most I think one that most people are aware of, and set it and be done with it. So kind of embarrassing. Election lost by 22 votes, or decided by 22 votes. The 2 guys, it's funny because 2 of them are lawyers, 2 of them are my friends. I know both of them, and they're both battling it out. 2 attorneys that wants to get that council seat so bad. That council seat is critical because each of them sits on different sides of the aisle. One of them is an ally to Mayor Caldwell, and the other one isn't. So this is a very, very important election for that council on Oahu. And 22 votes decided it. So now we're going to go to a special election. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm more interested in the results of that than the Super Bowl, to be honest with you, only because it's 2 attorneys, and I'm curious to see what happens next. So good luck to the both of them. It's just another thing that we do things differently here in Hawaii. I did make note of the recent bad accidents here on Kauai. I'm not sure what the heck it is. It happens daytime, nighttime. Oahu, same thing. Love the color of your shirt, matching the new facial look. This is a charity walk. Charity Walk 2018. If you notice, all my shirts are free. It's shirts that I get from either organizations I belong to, volunteer nonprofits, or events that we walk in, or that's all I wear. I don't have any. My wardrobe is very limited to these kinds of shirts. It is 2018, so it's not that old. The shirt isn't that old. Kimo Rosen, they should redo the Kawhi mural. That's cute. Yeah. So anyway, back to I think all of us, we all have an obligation, a duty to drive well and safe. So sad, we've lost so many people already in this short new year. We gotta stay focused on driving safe, driving defensively, and making sure we teaching our kids and everyone else just pay attention. No more texting and driving and on the phone and so pray for all the families of people that lost. And if any of you are on this session, I apologize and very condolences out to all of the families that lost people in our local Kauai accidents, and of course to the families on Oahu. And again, the Chief Perry, praying for a very quick and speedy recovery for him who got struck. For those of you that joined us, Chief Perry got struck by a vehicle on his bicycle on the Big Island on Sunday, and he's at Queens in ICU, suffered some very serious injuries. I did go to see him yesterday, and we just pray for recovery for Chief. Let's talk about the governor's reappointment of Department of Hawaiian Homelands Chairperson Joby Masagatani. Now with the scandal and the audit showing kickbacks to the tune of $200K to admin and staff who gave, Sherry, one of the things I will be doing, and again we talked about this last week, and we're gonna be using a different platform. So we'll continue Facebook Live here on Facebook, but on my YouTube channel we'll be doing another utilizing a different platform where I can have guests come on and remotely join in on the discussion. I really would love to have Sherry, you join us and give us a real good overview. I'm surprised that the governor reappointed Joby. I really am. I thought there was enough pressure from the legislature. In fact, I thought I read at one point that they didn't have the votes. And I apologize. I don't know if in fact the reappointment was made. Sherry, if you'd love to text real quick if that appointment was made. I would be surprised because I had heard again that the votes weren't present, but I guess the political machine convinced some of the legislators to approve. So that's quite surprising. I'm equally disappointed. I think that department can do a whole lot more, and I wish they would have found a chairperson that was going to be committed to moving the development of Hawaiian homelands much quicker. So yeah, Sarah, let's talk about that. You really do love our island so much, Mel. Would you or Patsy consider being on a governing board of Alakai o Kauai? Okay, we'll talk about that, Dr. B. We'll definitely talk about that. Okay. Your Patriots jersey will call Raylene. Rams. Hey, hold on. Hang on real quick. Sorry. I just got to do this for you, Raylene. Hang on. This might be a big clue. But anyway, hold on. This is just for you, Raylene. Oh, you cannot even see. Oh my God. What is that, Raylene? Okay, now I feel much better. You don't need to save your money. Raylene, I don't need a Patriots jersey. All right. Okay, here we go. Gerardo Rojas Garcia, Sue Canojo, Dave Boucher, Kurt Toma, Suzanne Kashima, Mike Walian, Colin, a bunch of you guys. Everybody likes the Rams. Yeah, what is I don't even know. Hang on. Let me look at what the thing is right now. What is our 60, it was still 68%, 96 votes, 68% think the Rams will win right here. Anyway, we got kind of off track there. We're talking about the Hawaiian homelands. Yeah, so anyway, my skin is not burning, Auntie Millie, not with this jersey. I told Raylene if she gives me that Patriots jersey, I got to buy, those little round Band-Aids, the little round ones. I have to put them on my nipples just to prevent them from burning with that Patriots jersey. don't get me wrong. I think the Patriots are a great team. I think Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I think that team is a great team. I'm not a hater. So many people hate the Patriots. I don't know why. I don't hate the Patriots. I just think the Rams are going to do it this year. Okay. So anyway, hey, Darlene, how are you guys? How's everybody? Oh, okay. Gosh, how do we get from Hawaiian Homelands to back to the Super Bowl because of cousin Raleen talking about a Patriots jersey? So anyway, to make it clear, Rams 38-31 MVP CJ Anderson. All right. Congratulations going out to Ron Wiley, new program director, Shaka 103 FM. I just thought that was pretty cool. I thought maybe, oh God, is he leaving Kong? No, he's staying on Kong. He's just taking over the helm for 103.1, which is our classic rock station. Just a real short shout out to Ron Wiley. Guy's been around forever. I mean, I grew up listening to Ron Wiley. I don't even know. He's got to be about 100 years old. I was thinking about it because I was in high school, young, listening to Ron Wiley. He was in Honolulu on an AM station. I forget what the thing was. I can't remember the. Some of you may remember, but that was a long time ago, and he's still on the radio today. Sounds just like he did when I was young, back in my early high school days, and he's on Kauai now, and a very good community person. So Ron Wiley, congratulations. All right, Hawaiian Airlines reports $133 million profit in 2018. KIKI, but there was one before that, Jay. There was one before KIKI, and I cannot remember what it was. But anyway, so yeah, Hawaiian Air, $133 million in profit in 2018. Now, every year, the Department of Transportation comes out with, they got to report all of that stuff. All these airlines got to report their profits and where the money's come from. And every year they come out with a report, and it breaks down the profits from fares and baggage fees and change fees and late fees and blah, blah, blah. The 2018 final report didn't come out yet, but just for the 3 quarters of 2018. Hey, Keith, thanks for joining us. Kamasami Kong, bingo. So for 2018, up until the first 3 quarters, they had over $60 million just in baggage fees. Hey, Hoban. Aloha, brother. So obviously, with the holiday travel in December, November, you're looking well over $80 million in revenues on baggage fees for Hawaiian Airlines alone. So where all that profit comes from. It'd be nice when we do get that final report for the entire year. I will definitely be discussing that. Hey, Paul. By the way, if you guys just joining us, if you're curious. It's a Rams jersey. 38-31 MVP CJ Anderson. I know you guys are going to hear this over and over. No, I just want to make sure the new people joining understand. Again, the disclaimer, do not bet based on my prediction because you will probably lose. So that's just my personal opinion. So 133 million. So my question is, that's a lot of money. I understand it's a great business model. I think I posted earlier today. It's a great business model. They're making money, making their shareholders happy. But, and I also posted today, the frustration that I think many of us have is the fact that we are paying top dollar. We are paying more. In some cases, we are paying more for inter-island travel than we would pay to go to the mainland. That's unacceptable. Yes, granted, Hawaiian Air and the inter-island flights, if you fly certain times of the day, there's some reduced fares. But for the normal person who need to fly, you got to fly out in the morning or whatever, the fares are quite high. So I posted, why don't they come back and bring back the Kamaina fare or the coupon books? With $133 million in profit, you would think that they could kind of give some back to the local community, to the local community that supports them, because we have to support them, right? There's only one airlines. So again, I posted, the employees on Hawaiian Airlines, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. No matter, I've posted some really critical things about Hawaiian Airlines over the last many years. None of that was meant for the employees. I fly a lot, and when I do fly off this inter-island, I got to fly Hawaiian. But when I fly to the mainland, I think it might be 233, Jay. I'm sorry, I may have written this thing wrong. For some reason, I don't know why I put one. It should be 233 million. Hey, Bobby and Leo. Um, those comments were never meant for the employees. Every time I fly Hawaiian, I used to fly Hawaiian all the time on the mainland flights. It just got too expensive. Yeah, it just got too expensive. Well, on the council, we got to go with we got to get three bids. Hawaii never won because they were always higher than Delta or American or United. So I flew a lot of other airlines, but every so often we'd come across Hawaiian being the lowest fare, so I could get on a Hawaiian mainland flight. But the service from everyone, from the ticket counter to the gate to the flight attendants, all fabulous. I think Hawaiian is the best customer service airline that I've ever flown. Alaska, I just went on Alaska. I gotta say, Alaska was good. We went to Oregon for New Year's, and I tell you, Alaska Airlines, top notch. I love the service we got on that plane. We didn't go first class. We never fly first class. We always fly coach, and we were treated very well. So, but the point is, Hawaiian Airlines employees do a great job. I'm hoping that this company rewards these employees that really make the company with some pay increases, some bonuses. They deserve it. They are the airline. And I only hope that that part of that $33 million will get back into the employees' hands in some way, shape, or form. Hey, aloha, sweetie, Delcy, Keelan, Delta, Kauai to Vegas 401. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's almost double. It is. Today I was playing around on the computer, just picking random dates in March and April and May, and looking at the Hawaiian Air rate versus, I use kayak.com, and I get all the different airlines. But on a typical day, Hawaiian is pretty close to double the fares of our United or American or Alaska. Japan Airline is the best. Sorry, Mel. I was talking about domestic travel. I flew on Japan Airlines, I flew on Korean Airlines, and I flew on Philippine Airlines. Tough to beat the international service you get on those flights. You are correct. Hello, Michelle. San Francisco 49er fans. California, I'm thinking Rams for the Super Bowl. Kurt, what do you think? If it's you, Kurt, what do you think, man? All right. I know. I don't know if I saw it. Is Bitos Gandia on here? Bitos, are you on? I'm trying to go scroll through the people on this call. He probably never show up to this call. He posted something today on Facebook that he was changing his mind and he was going to go with the Patriots. So on this poll that we have going, which is now at 97 votes, it's still at 68 and 32. I did check the votes, and he did vote for the Patriots. So Bitos has officially jumped ship from the Rams to the Patriots. I'm not sure what the heck it is. My wife's oven is beeping. Betsy! She's baking again. What do they call that? Chex Mix or whatever, party mix for my daughter's friend who needs some for her kids' event. My wife is always baking for other people, so God bless her. Yeah, Bitos has officially jumped ship. So if you guys know Bitos, call him traitor or whatever. But he was a Rams fan until today. He posted live. I changed my mind. So I guess he's not on because he's not commenting. Trying to scroll through here to see if he's on. But anyway, Bitos, if you're on, show yourself and text something in the box. All right. I had government shutdown on here, but you know what's there to say? I feel for the TSA employees, our federal employees, that more than likely will be put on leave again or furlough. I don't see any progress in DC as far as keeping the government open. But again, that's yet to be seen. Yeah, it's you're right. It was beeping. Yeah, I know, Julie. He was on earlier, and I guess he knew. I told him I was going to bring it up, so he probably went off. But anyway, back to the government shutdown. Yeah, it's temporary. It was 3 weeks. I don't know. We're just going to have to watch. We're going to have to watch and see how that thing pans out. Tell Patsy to make custard pie. Patsy, make custard pie. I don't know if she's ever made. My son Baron just joined. All right, Baron, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Teddy Arroyo, right on. Thank you for joining. Real quick, Baron and Teddy, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Get to my Facebook page and vote if you haven't already. It's still 68%. Let's see. 68% Rams, 32% Patriots. And that is with 98 votes. So this is going to go through the Super Bowl. We're going to see if the Rams going to keep that lead or not, or the Patriots will take over. But anyway, the Chargers. Way to go, son. Way to go. All right. Couple more things here. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about the letter today. Letter to the editor. This is from Representative Nakamura and Morikawa. And I'm just going to read this. It's basically they are writing in response to Ruta Jordan's letter on January 8, requesting that the county council widen Kuhio Highway. Well, we all know Kuhio Highway, Patriots with the help of the referees. Oh, God. Yeah, so Ruta Jordan wrote a letter to the editor about Kuhio Highway and widening Kuhio Highway. Kuhio Highway is a state highway, so Dee and Nadine decided to respond and say that increasing the highway to 4 lanes is included in Department of Transportation's CAPA Transportation Solutions Study. The DOT has identified this project as a priority, but there are projects that have prioritized ahead of this one. I cannot imagine what's more important than the congestion on Kuhio Highway and Kamuli Highway, but apparently there are. So it says, in addition to widening Kuhio Highway, other highway improvements include adding a southbound lane on Kuhio Highway from the Wailua Bridge to the beginning of the Kapa'a Bypass Road fronting Coco Palms. So I'm not sure. I was trying to picture what it says. Southbound lane on Kuhio Highway from the bridge. If you're going south, you're going the opposite way. You're not going towards Coco Palms. So I don't know what that means, but it does say that the project is funded and will begin. I think she meant, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. Will begin later this year. So I don't know what road that is talking about, but I guess we'll see that thing being built. I cannot see that being a priority over widening Kuhio Highway, but apparently it does. And then adding a roundabout. This is the one Larry Arruda talked about earlier. Adding a roundabout at Mailihuna Road and Kuhio Highway. Mailihuna is the road that goes up to Kapa'a High School. That project is funded and will begin early this year. And adding a southbound lane from Kuhio Highway to the Olohena Road roundabout. This project is not currently funded, but is programmed for future funding. In other words, that ain't happening. So the Mailihuna Road roundabout is more of a priority in the state's mind, Department of Transportation's mind, than the widening of Kuhio Highway. I cannot agree with that. I simply cannot agree with that. And then she goes on to say, our role as legislators is to seek state funds for these critical highway improvements. A roundabout at Mailihuna is not critical. That's not the problem. The problem is not the Mailihuna Road if you're looking at prioritizing road work here on Kauai. To this end, we supported a tax. This is interesting. To this end, we supported Robert Bitos Gandia just joined. Aloha, Robert, and welcome. To this end, we, Representative Nakamura and Morikawa, supported a tax on rental cars to fund highway capacity projects in the county where the tax is collected. This bill passed last year and will help toward addressing our needs on Kauai. More must be done, and we will continue to work with the State Department of Transportation so that all projects are completed in a timely manner. The problem is that, I mentioned your name, Bitos, because you had jumped ship. You're now a Patriot fan. So we just was having fun with that. But anyway, back to the highway. What more of a priority? The congestion in Kapa'a and on the west side. When we're focusing our energies at the state level on these projects that will not, that roundabout at Mailihuna is going to slow the traffic down as it's the Kapa'a bound traffic from the North Shore. It's going to slow it down. Aloha, Thomas. So that's not going to help the problem. The problem is the congestion. The problem is we don't have enough lanes of travel. The problems the problem is that we have more cars than road. The solution is we need more lanes. We got to start looking at interior. We got to start looking at creating alternate routes inland on those vacant lands that are not being used right now that we could be. Well, while we wait for the state to figure out when they're going to take care of these problems, we got to start looking at alternatives at the local level. Let's see. A crosswalk is needed, not a roundabout. I walk that route every day. Very dangerous crossing. Well, that's one of the things. Roundabout is more for four-way intersections. Absolutely, Jay. And I know you're very akamai about roads and traffic. I don't know who dreamt that. For some reason, roundabouts were a buzzword. They're a buzzword in community design. But yet, where's the practicality of that? Where's the benefit of that? That's not going to solve the problem of congestion. There were also the county now, that's a state project, but further up where you got Mailihuna, Kawaihau, Laipo, and that right up there by the St. Catherine Church, they're talking about doing what they call a peanut about. So there's going to be a roundabout that's not round. It's going to be shaped like a peanut, and all of those roads are going to come into one peanut about. I don't know where. I've never seen that before. So anyway, we got to see. It'll slow the traffic down in both directions. Absolutely, Larry. That's not going to help the traffic congestion in Kapa'a Town any. In fact, it may just make it worse. 4 or more legged intersections, not for in a T-side. Yeah, I've never seen it. Again, I'm not sure who thought this. Michael, traffic will be backed up all the way to Anahola and more worse. Exactly, it is not going to help. The peanut about is coming. That's what I hear. The entire time I was on the county council, we never approved funding a peanut about. So how they got it through is beyond me. I heard that it was moving forward. I don't know how. It's something that we got to really take a look at. I don't see the benefit of that either, except the contractors going to make a ton of money. Contractors and consultants going to make a ton of money, and us, the drivers, are going to suffer. So not happy. Obviously not happy. Which leads me to my next point, which is at the end of the session last week, I talked about the county audit. And I'm jumping because we already at 6:20. We only got 10 more minutes, and I wanted to. Hey, Helene, thanks for joining us. So we got a lot of issues. But the county audit last week came out. It's online. You can read it. It's quite interesting when you look at the findings. And there were a couple of findings that were quite troubling. And I'm waiting to see what the council is going to do as far as follow up. But one of the red flags that the auditors found, which was very disturbing to me, for those of you that don't know, while in Kauai Police Department, I was a white-collar detective. I investigated the financial crimes, and I did that for many years. And every training I've ever went to, as it relates to forensic financial crimes or any kind of white-collar investigations, is that one of the triggers for investigations or forensic audits is when any accounts are not reconciled on a regular basis. Now, I don't know how many of you out there are business people. I don't know how many of you out there reconcile your bank statements every month. I do. I use Quicken, and I reconcile my bank statement every single month. And that is for two reasons. Number one, to keep track of all of my expenditures and my revenue, income, which isn't much. But the second part is to make sure that the bank didn't make a mistake. That's why I do it. So in any business, you reconcile your accounts on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. And in some businesses actually require reconciliations bi-monthly or bi-weekly or whatever, twice a month. So the auditors found that some of our accounts, this is a financial audit that is done every year by an external auditor on Oahu, a CPA firm, found that some of our accounts were not reconciled since 2017. And I watched the council meeting that day because I had heard that the auditors were going to be on at the meeting. And I was kind of surprised when the council asked the right question, have we caught up? See, because the auditors come in and they spend a lot of time in the county last year. And the answer was no, we haven't. We're caught up to November of 2017. So that's quite disturbing for me as a former white collar investigator, as just a person that really believes that financial accountability is critical. So, hey, Wally, thanks for joining. So anyway, so that was a finding that I thought was quite serious, that I'm hoping that this council will pursue and find out why. My bigger concern is not so much catching up. I think that someone needs to look into the transactions in this time. You see, and this is not meant as an allegation or accusation of anything. I'm just saying, in all my years as an investigator of white collar crime, when you don't reconcile the books, it gives someone an opportunity to move funds back and forth in between reconciliations and not be detected. That's why we reconcile. So you could be robbing Peter to pay Paul, and let's just use the XYZ Corporation, for example, not necessarily the county, but you could be taking money from one account, putting it in another, and then replacing that money before the reconciliation is done. That's why reconciliations are done on a monthly basis. That's how bank tellers get caught for moving money. I arrested several bank tellers in my years because what they were doing is they were basically check kiting. They were taking money from one account, putting them in another that had no money, but they were able to put the monies back and forth in time. So it was never detected. And that is why accounts need to be reconciled on a monthly basis. So when I heard November 2017, we're caught up to that's you're not caught up. And in fact, somebody needs to take a look into those transactions in between the reconciliation periods. It's incredible. So that was one of them. The other one was, which is a recurring problem every year, is the P card transactions being done without authorization, after the fact authorizations, or no authorizations at all. That has been happening every year for the last 2 years. I've asked for a complete audit of all P card transactions countywide. Something's not right. So I'm hoping this council will pursue. And then the other was, which I felt was quite serious, was the federal government provides us federal funds for different housing programs. And the way it works is the state hangs on to the money. The state organization hangs on. It's like the pass-through. We front the money for the projects that we're doing that qualify for these federal funds. We pay the invoices that the developer or the contractor provides for the county, and then we submit a request for reimbursement to the state to get our monies back, which is actually the federal monies. Well, we had two findings in the audit that we had paid out expenditures that were not allowable, but we'd already paid them out. So when we sent the reimbursement request, the state agency said, sorry, these don't qualify. They're not allowable, so you don't get reimbursed. So those, again, just questionable actions that are being done that need to be looked at further, and I'm hoping that this council will follow up on that. So I did want to bring that up just so that you understand that the importance of audits, the importance of external audits, audits done by parties outside that can take an objective look at what we do so we can make it more efficient. As far as the reconciliation, I don't know why you would need I'm embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed if I was the administration. And remember, this audit was done on not the new administration. It was done on an administration prior. So, hang on. I gotta drink my water here. This audit was done during the prior administration, so this is not intended to, in any way, shape, or form, to reflect the new administration. They got to clean up the mess. Derek and his crew now got to go in and clean up this mess that was left. So I hope they take some positive, strong action. The reconciliation, to me, is one that needs to be dealt with immediately. And I'm hoping that they look at it objectively and try to find out why and how that happened. That's inexcusable in my opinion, but that's something that they're going to have to deal with. Well, we got 5 minutes left. Again, we'll be back next week, Wednesday at 5:30. Don't forget, go to YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Mel Rapozo. Subscribe to the channel so as we turn more videos, you get notified. We'll continue to Facebook Live every Wednesday at 5:30. I like this forum. I really do. Like I said, we got a new camera coming in. We're gonna have hopefully a better quality video. I'm hoping this new mic that I just got here worked well today. Again, I want to close by asking all of you again to say a quick prayer. Sounds like Kauai needs an auditor. yeah, I did apply. We'll see. But I'm asking all of you to say a prayer for retired Chief Darryl Perry. I know a lot of you that came on late. He was riding, he loves riding his bike. He was riding his bicycle on a Big Island. Got struck by a vehicle, suffered very serious injuries, got medevac to Queens. He's there now in ICU. I went to visit him yesterday, and he went to surgeries. Had some surgeries done yesterday, and so just asking all of you pray for him and for everyone else. I mean, we see on Facebook a lot of people going through some really tough times, losing very family members and so forth. So. Let's just pray for everybody that needs some intervention right now. Other than that, Super Bowl Sunday coming up. The next time I see all of you, it'll be after the Super Bowl. Remember what I said? Better shot of that jersey. Yeah. Rams. This is number 13, but Kurt Warner. Remember Kurt Warner? Anyway, 38-31. Rams will win. CJ Anderson will be the MVP. Interesting prediction. Aside from that, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great week. Have a great weekend. I hope you guys have fun during the Super Bowl. But remember, every Wednesday, 5:30, send me a message. If you want me to discuss certain items, just shoot me a message so we can do the research and get you the answers that you need. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's and I trimmed my beard actually. I trimmed my beard, so hopefully I cannot make up my mind. Beatles, you're killing me. You had already voted. You already voted, but you can undo your vote. If you check, you can undo and put them back with 38-31 exactly. That'll be the score. Rams will win. Let me just before I turn out the night, I want to see what it is. It's now 69% Rams, 31. So the Rams has gained, and that is with 102 votes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, 5:30. Go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. You'll get updates on notified every time we do a new video. Patsy and I are going to go away for a couple of days with my mother-in-law. So you might see some spontaneous videos popping up on my YouTube channel. So stay in touch. Hello, everybody. We love you guys. God bless. Enjoy the game. Go Rams. Aloha.